Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. Welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now, professionally undefeated and perfect in her MMA record with a record of 1-0 coming off a very good debut win, is Pittsburgh's own, fighting out of Stout, Pittsburgh, Brittany Sunshine Bickhart. Brittany, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
It's great to be able to hear you. It's great to be able to have you on the show. And of course, coming off a big win, we want to jump right into it. It's been a long time. We've done a lot of shows leading up to what we thought would be your debut. Ended up changing around a bunch, but you finally got your debut. Talk us through the fight.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a quick fight. It was my quickest fight yet. And it just went, I think how you would want a fight to go when, going into a fight. Took no damage, did some good things, and yeah, came out victorious.
And of course, you're referring to the fact that you won by rear naked choke in just over a minute in round
Yeah.
one. Talk us through a little bit of that setup. You can do a rear naked choke from a couple different positions. And what was it a scramble? Were you on top and then she rolled over and gave up her back? Like, what was the situation a minute in that led to the choke?
Well, I got a double leg against the cage, and at first she was, trying to fight for a Kimura on me, and she kind of turned facing away from me, and when she did that, she gave up her back. So I was able to put one hook in and just kind of start hand fighting, going for the choke, throwing some punches, and eventually some punches led up to the choke being open. So once my arm was under there, I was like, oh, I got it now.
Well, and this was your first time really being able to use the pro rule sets because you were a longtime amateur, 4-1 as a MMA fighter, and then a couple other fights in there. So emotionally, obviously, very quick fight. Emotionally, what was it like to have about the picture perfect of a pro debut, but also finally be able to call yourself a pro fighter and look on to the next, to the next fight and continue on with your pro career?
Yeah, it was just, I mean, I kind of blacked out with happiness right after. I was dancing and just it was just pure raw emotion coming out of me because I think there was a lot built up, for the fight and a lot of sacrifices put in place and a lot of people I wanted to make proud and give a good name. And so just for it, it finally happened in the first place. And then, we came out with a win. And then, I mean, it was just totally a rush of emotions. So but and also it's kind of like a weight lift off my shoulders. Like finally we got the debut, we got it out of the way. Now I'm also not naive to the fact that, I didn't work so hard to just become a pro fighter. I want to make a name for myself. So I definitely know too that it was just the beginning. And hopefully there's many more happy times like that to come.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's what I think is exciting about your professional debut being so impressive, but also it's literally just the start. And I've been following you since you were an amateur kickboxer years ago. You transitioned, moved out to Pittsburgh, found Stout to really be your home. We've talked a lot in person, even not on recording, because you're a great team player. Not only are you a great fighter and a great athlete and great representative for Stout, but talk a little bit about your role kind of behind the scenes. I don't think you're an official coach, but you definitely are at all the events. You're always hanging around, encouraging the fighters. And as much as you're now on the path to be a pro fighter, how much is that team dynamic and you as sort of that coach motivator play in to your love of MMA?
Yeah, well, it's easy to be to want to be a part of, all the events and stuff and be there for my teammates because I'm honestly surrounded by a lot of great people. And I can look up to my coaches as well. And whenever this we're at the end of the career, I want to be able to coach moving forward. And I think, just if you lead in the direction that you feel you should be going and you set a good example for maybe, there's a new generation coming up. And there's nothing that feels better than when someone says, I look up to you, or, so I think that's a good role that I would hope I play at the gym. It's just, like part leader, but also, I'm still a teammate with everyone, and we all kind of have each other's back. We all, can look up to everyone in certain ways. There's things that people do that I'll recognize. I'm like, oh, that's good. I should be doing that too. So I think we all kind of motivate each other, and we all coach each other, and we all really help each other out because we have great examples ahead of us with our, head coach Mike Wilkins and Will Morrow and all the other coaches. And I think we're just, when you have a high goal set, you guys just, help each other out and try to be the best we can.
Yeah, I mean that's the attitude I think everybody at Stout has because it's really that team dynamic. So for you, you mentioned about the future. What's your time frame for your next fight? Obviously, it took a long time to get this matched up. Tapology has several fights that fell through. I'm sure there was even more than what's listed. So yeah, what's your best case scenario? When would you like to get back in the cage? And then obviously, I can't wait to have you back on whenever your next fight gets officially matched. And I love the fact that I get to follow your career. It's been really exciting. It's just getting started.
Hmm. Well, so we're looking at early June. So I might have something, hopefully, if it all goes right. I've learned to have just be patient and let it play out. I'll do
Okay.
my part and
Yep.
I'll let it fall into place. Hopefully I'll have some news, later this week to announce for around June. So
Well, that would
really
be
soon.
perfect. However it ends up working out is great. It's exciting coming off such a dominant first round debut win. It's nice because you didn't take any damage and you're healthy. It's nice that you're able to roll right into planning for another fight. Hopefully that comes together in June or whatever works out best, but it's always exciting. And I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate the fact that I get to follow you. You mentioned Stout Pittsburgh. I get to follow you and a lot of people from Stout, really all of the Pittsburgh area and some fighters even outside of Pittsburgh. So it's been really fun. People from your gym have been singing your praises since you were, early in your amateur career. Obviously, some of those fights took longer to get to. It's been kind of the story of your career so far, which is one of the challenges with matchmaking, particularly on the female side of MMA. There's some incredible fighters, obviously, from amateur all the way up to the best of the best in the UFC. It's a super, super exciting side of MMA, but unfortunately, the opportunities are a little bit less often. So obviously, you're making the best of everything you can. I love the fact that you gave a shout out to Mike Wilkins and, of course, Coach Will Morrell. They are really recognizable in Pittsburgh. I know your debut wasn't for 247, but I bring this up because 247 Fighting Championships has a great regional promotion in the Pittsburgh area and sometimes outside of Pittsburgh. And Stout, Pittsburgh, and both of your coaches are two-time Coach of the Year and Gym of the Year. And I think that really just obviously is something you guys are proud of. And it just goes towards the credibility and the level of what you guys are doing. So I really appreciate you coming on the show. Can't wait. Anytime I can have Sunshine on the show, it is an exciting day. So thanks so much. You've been listening to Luke Payson with MMA Fancast and the undefeated professional MMA fighter, Brittany Sunshine Bickhart. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.